Let's just do the same thing, but with AP World. So global tapestry, we know what that is. Networks of exchange, we know what that is. Land-based empires. So empires, now this is going to be talking about like the Mongols and stuff. But empire, you could think of, here's a good one, Empire Strikes Back, right? So Empire Strikes Back, the Star Wars movie, that's Darth Vader. And you could imagine Darth Vader um, land-based would be good. You're probably coming up with one before I even do. Land-based empires, I would say Darth Vader covered in dirt. Okay. Transoceanic interconnections. Man, we love these words, right? So oceanic, transoceanic interconnections. I would just imagine a ship, okay? Because that's going to help me know that it's transoceanic and that's always going to involve a ship. 5, revolution. Now you could think of a revolution as a wheel because a wheel is going to be something that turns like a revolution. Or you could imagine a car in your head really revving up, right? Like a car revving up, making a lot of noise. Or you could think of, you could use the Revolutionary War and a revolutionary soldier as your memory object for number 5. 6, consequences of industrialization. Industrialization is basically when we're talking about factories and machines. So you could imagine a machine just pumping out smoke, just a humming machine, or a factory. If you did a factory, that would be pretty good, but it's usually better to have something that you can envision and touch. So let's use a machine that is producing a lot of smoke as our number 6 memory object. 7, global conflict. All right, so I would just say conflict. I would use a boxing match, right? Somebody boxing being conflict, or a soldier or cannons or something like that being conflict, because a lot of times we're talking about war at that point. 8, Cold War and decolonization. Let's just focus on Cold War. So if you imagine a soldier like an Eskimo, well, not that an Eskimo is a soldier, but when we think of an Eskimo or somebody in really, really cold weather gear, then we can think of that as cold and just imagine them with a gun. So Cold War. And then 9, globalization. Now we're using a lot of this term globalization. So I would say for globalization, we've already used globe, but the truth of it is the fact that we use globe in Unit 1 is not that big of a deal because if we use it in Unit 9, that's okay. So, but let's say if there's anything that rhymes with globalization. Globalization basically means that the world is becoming a smaller place and things that happen in China affect us in the United States, right? Which we can obviously tell here with the COVID and the spread of the disease. But it also involves immigration and emigration. It involves trade. It involves pollution. It involves protest movements and all that stuff. But it basically is the world shrinking. So what I would say is rather than in number 1, where we have a big world, a big globe, what if in number 9 we have a tiny little globe, a tiny globe? Let's just do that for right now because we can always change it. So what your assignment is to take each of those objects. So let's just go through it real quick. A globe with a tapestry on it, a router with a big jar of change, Darth Vader covered in dirt, a ship, a Revolutionary War soldier, the machine creating a lot of smoke, the soldier. Oh, I'm sorry, the cannons. Let's just do cannons. The Eskimo with a gun in his hand, and then a tiny globe. Those objects. Put those in your mind palace, and then take a tour of your mind palace. Got to envision it. You got to put it there. Put it right at the front of the. Put it big. A big image in the room that you're coming in, and that will be it. Now, let's just do that as an assignment, guys. If you want to do storytelling later, if you want to do memory pegs later, that's fine. But let's just do that as an assignment. If you are not in AP World, if you're in APUSH, if you're in AP Gov, if you're in 9th grade world, whatever, then I need to know what your units are in order for me to help you out. But you can do this on your own if you need to. All right? That's your assignment.